half of the workforce is made up of women. Yet when you see the Fortune 500 companies, only 24 women are CEOs.
Yeah.
That's less than 5%. And like everyone, if you're involved in any type of work, you want to be in an environment where you can excel and you can grow. So what do we need to do to change that environment?
You know, I think you've heard it all day today. We have to use our voices, particularly the young generation. Because we have to realize now that the numbers are on our side, right? More and more people are realizing that this is an issue for everybody. And we have to use our voices, our power, and our leverage to make demands, to feel like we can make the request, to make the ask to our employers. I mean, I had to find that voice within me myself, and it occurred during after the birth of Sasha. And Barack, I think he mentioned this, so everybody's like, what was he talking about? Well, this is what he was talking about. This is what he was talking about. I had, you know, sort of dealt with the tug of how am I balancing things. Barack was in Springfield, then he was in Washington. I was in Chicago trying to manage these two beautiful girls, trying to still hold down a part-time job. The first thing I tried to do, which was a mistake, was that I tried the part-time thing. But what I realized was that I got gypped on that front. Because when you are working a professional job, what happened was I got a part-time salary, but continued to work full-time. So after that experience, I said, never again will I shortchange myself, because we were still paying for full-time babysitting, because as a professional, when there was a meeting that needed to happen, they expected you to be there. So we had to have full-time babysitting, so that was a net loss for us. Then I had Sasha, and we lost our babysitter, which was probably the worst time of my motherhood. I was so devastated, because that balance, that work-family balance, is so fragile. And you realize how fragile it is that with a blink of an eye, a broken toilet, a sick child, a sick parent, that balance is thrown off. And after we lost that first babysitter, someone we developed trust with, you let them in their home, they were wonderful, they loved your kid, and then they left, and she left for good reason. She left because she needed to make more money. But it was devastating. And I said then, I quit. I just forget it. I'm not doing it again. But I got a call from the University of Chicago Hospital. They wanted me to interview for a job. And by then, I was ready to be done. But that empowered me. I said, you know, I don't even want this job. So I'm going to go to the interview, and I'm just going to be whoever I'm going to be. And they're going to have to deal with it. And who I was at the time was a breastfeeding mother of a 4-month-old. And I didn't have a babysitter. So I promptly took Sasha to the interview with me, and I thought, look, this is who I am. I got a husband who's away. I've got 2 little babies. They are my priority. If you want me to do the job, you got to pay me to do the job, and you've got to give me flexibility. And flexibility means that I will work my tail off for you, but you better pay me and value my family. And the guy said, of course. And I thought, are you kidding? And so I became a vice president at the University of Chicago Hospitals, and it was one of the best experiences that I had, because he put my family first. And I felt like I owed that hospital because they were supporting me. And that's what we have to have. We have to get employers to understand that this is about their bottom line as well.
So your approach to your career changed as you became a mother, and how you said first you learned not to ask for part-time, and so you were more directive in what you needed, and your employer responded. There are a lot of people, though, that are going to say, yeah, but I'm at risk if I do that. I might lose my job. I really need this job.
That's true. That's why it's so important for women and men who are in the position to make these demands to do it. So this isn't just, you know, this fight isn't about me or Barack, because things are different now, you know? We live in the White House. Grandma lives upstairs, thank God. And and we have resources that we never could have imagined. So this isn't, the fight isn't about us, it's about every mother and father out there who doesn't have the leverage to make those demands. We're fighting for them because we know how bad it is. We know how tough it is. I knew back then when I was a vice president at a hospital, I understood the advantage that I had. If I were a teacher or a bus driver or a nurse or a shift worker, which my father was, there is no room for that kind of negotiation if you're an hourly worker. But the needs are even greater because the balance is even more delicate for many working families, folks on an hourly wage. Childcare is beyond expensive. We had, the luxury of looking at nannies, right? And we couldn't even afford to keep the one we had. But, we weren't looking at the cost of childcare, taking your baby, packing them up, putting them in the car seat, dropping them off, at a child care center, coming back. I mean, just that emotional tug on its own is powerful. And it is not lost on either me or Barack how tough it is, which is why we all have to be in this fight. This is something we're doing for each other.